Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Shamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for Tuesday, November 21st of 2023. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful start to your week. Go Birds. I don't know how the Eagles won last night. The Chiefs dropped a lot of passes in that game. I don't know how they won, but they did. Defense really showed out in that second half, and offense did just enough to get that win. So, go Birds! Best record in the league, 9-1, and congratulations to the is it the Alouettes? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but the Canadian Football League, I think, just had their championship, and the Alouettes had won the Grey Cup. So, congratulations to them. I know Skywalk Trees. I know you live up in Canada. I don't know who your favorite team is. I don't know if it's happens to be the Alouettes. So, um, I thought I saw something about them winning like four straight championships or something like that. So I guess they're really, really, really good. So, anyways, enough of that stuff. We'll put that to the side for the moment. Let's go ahead and hop into the astrology for today. There really isn't like a whole lot going on today. Um, Now, of course, we do have the sun at the end of Scorpio. That's like the main thing. It moves to the 29th degree today. So this is the last full day of the sun in Scorpio. So we do have that. We also have the moon, which is going to be traveling throughout Pisces today. It's not going to quite get to the trines with the sun and Mars and everything. Not quite. Not quite. It's going to get to around 21, 22 degrees before the end of the day. So, but like I said, we do have, of course, the sun here at 29 degrees. It's coming off, it's about a full degree away from Mars now. So, that conjunction, we can still feel it, but it's separating right now. It is loosening. And, you know, we're about to head into this Sagittarius season. We have Mars, which is going to be in sextile to Pluto today, the executioner. So that's going to be a positive energy, especially since Mars is actually at home in Scorpio. It actually likes to be here. So I remember the last time. I remember when Mars was in Libra and squared Pluto. I talked about how Pluto, being the executioner, had to pretty much Mars right? So now that they're in sextile, Mars is a bit more competent, you know what I'm saying? So Pluto doesn't necessarily have to like clean up Mars's shit, if anything. So um yeah, of course, like I said, we had this moon in Pisces. Like I said, we're feeling like a buoy, kind of just out here drifting and shit like that, trying to find our way, trying to find our direction, if you will. Saturn's still at that 0 degrees, so we are still in the moment where we are making the decision. If anything, we've already made it since it's come forward. It's just that once it hits that first degree is when we take that first step on that timeline that we have chosen for ourselves. So now, of course, as you move this throughout the day, you're going to see, looks like the sun's still at 29 degrees, 29 degrees. That moon's going to be at 18 degrees, right? It does quincunx, let me just go back a little bit. It does quincunx Venus as well. So you get that awkward stare from across the room. This is an interesting energy because even though this is a bit awkward, Venus likes where the moon is, but she's also at home in Libra. So the moon's kind of like in like the vacation house, if you will, with Venus. Um, so the only thing that Venus may be a little bit envious of is the fact that the moon is chilling on the beach and stuff like that, and she's at home. But Venus is kind of chilling. Now, the South Node is there too. So it's interesting. I feel like Venus almost rather be where it is, the South Node is, than be where the moon is with Saturn and Neptune. So it's one of those rare moments where Venus is just sort of like, she's just kind of chilling. Normally, if a planet is in Pisces and she's making an aspect to it, she's like almost like, I kind of want to be on the beach, you know? Um, but she's chilling right now. She's still about 10 degrees off of the south node, so that energy is getting stronger. But we're looking to still find the balance and harmony within our lives, and you know the moon in Pisces can bring up some delusions. It can bring up some different ideas that we may have in our imagination, especially as Neptune is in quincunx to the south node at the same time. So we have two quincunxing energies between Libra and Pisces. We can definitely get caught up in our illusions. We can get caught up in these different stories that we may tell ourselves in our own head. A lot of that's Mercury and Sag too, that is coming into a square with Neptune. So we may tell ourselves different stories, different ideas, make up different things in our head, and then we may want to project those out onto other people and then expect them to accept, our fantasies. And we have to really ask ourselves, these fantasies, is there something there? Is there something substantive there? Or are we just, you know, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like this is some energy where it's like you can really try and get people wrapped up in your own delusions and stuff. Now, I think the trick here is that we have to be real. We all tell ourselves stories, right? Mercury Sag. We all tell ourselves stories. And we all well, this is why a certain event can happen that like say 20 people witness and they will explain it differently. So we all have our own version of stories. But I think the thing is that when you gaslight and project this on other people and then expect them to completely 100% adopt your side of the story, and if you don't, then something's wrong with you. That's the main issue, right? And this can happen in many different ways. So be careful with an energy like this because it is a quincunx. It's awkward, right? So it's like we can be in, Neptune's going to be in quincunx to the south node for a while. It started quincunxing it like what day did it start with the quincunx? What day did it hit 25 degrees? Right. So it's going to be in quincunx with the south node starting. What is this? November 16th is when it happened, and it's going to be in this quincunx for let's see until all right, I'm looking at the wrong. Try. Oh wait, hold on. It just happened there. Okay, so pretty much through the end of the month, right? So about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks, we have Neptune quincunxing the south node, right? So, we have 9 more days. So we're in the thick of this quincunx. We're in the thick of this energy of Neptune and the south node, right? Now, by the time, and it's interesting enough too, by the time it loosens finally and starts to break apart, Venus will be at 25 degrees of Libra, right? So moving past the south node, that moon is going to be in Cancer, which is actually going to end up squaring the nodes that day too, right? Sun and Mars are in Sag. Mercury at 28 degrees is also, it's going to be in square to Neptune. So, or coming off the square to Neptune. So you can see that this is going to be a very interesting final week of the month. Like Thanksgiving is going to be pretty interesting for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like some there's always weird ass drama with Thanksgiving and shit. But Thanksgiving's not really going to feel like Thanksgiving, to be fair. And Christmas is not going to feel like Christmas. Hanukkah's not going to feel like Hanukkah. These holidays aren't really going to feel like the holidays because then we all can sense that the world is shifting and things are definitely changing, you know, and we're gearing up for a very, very spicy 2024. Jupiter's going to be retrograde through this entire holiday season. So we're just getting hit with awkward energy after weird energy after complicated energy. And we're having to dig deep, find our resolve. We're having to dig deep and find those extra gears in our life to get through these moments, And I think, you know, I think there's so much honestly to be grateful for. So many things that we have that we can appreciate, And I think really what this comes down to is that we can't be looking at outside of ourselves for the answers. We can't just be looking outside of ourselves for all the answers. We have to go within. And this is everybody's going through. I'm going through this. I'm especially in like my career and work and stuff like that. I mean, I'm going to continue doing this sort of stuff, but I'm talking about like the way I make like the bulk of my money and stuff. I'm going through this as well, and I've been like wanting answers from external sources, just like anyone else, watching my favorite astrologers and different things like that, trying to get some ideas, but like, and I'm still, like I have like a general idea, right? But I'm still just like, I think the issue that we are all experiencing is that we want to guarantee outcomes, but we can't guarantee the outcome. And I think that frustrates some people. It's like people want insurance, right? They want success insurance. They want to ensure their success. But the only way that you ensure your success, whether it's relationships or career or just you're developing spiritually, that spiritual relationship that you develop with the divine and stuff, you have to keep going. You have to dig deep. You have to find that extra gear. And you have to realize that there really aren't any guarantees in life, but we have created a system that we feel like we're guaranteed all these things, and we feel like we're just automatically going to have these things. We just feel like we walk into the grocery store and there's always going to be milk and eggs there. We always just feel like it's going to be there, right? We always feel like when we go to the gas station that there's going to be gas that we can pump into our car. We always feel like the internet's going to be as free as it is. And I find that we take a lot of these things for granted because nothing lasts forever, you know? And I think we all know that, like intuitively. Think we all know that, like subconsciously. And it's like some people are going to be doubling down. You're going to see that. So it's like, yeah, we have this awkward energy between Neptune and the South Node, which is going to be going on for, like I said, the next 9 days. So, like I said, we are in the thick of this. And then the moon, of course, joins up by quincunxing Venus, right? So it definitely takes things to a personal level. Neptune is definitely more of that generational, external energy, right? That kind of plays out more on like a societal level. Then this moon and Venus are going to come and kind of play things out on the personal. So it's like we're getting two different stories in many ways. Or we're getting the same story kind of played out in two different ways, right? With this one, it's 1+4, which is 5, which is mercurial. So this one's going to be very much so conversations, more mercurial, it's more hermetic, right? And maybe people may get into their head a little bit more with this one, right? Especially considering the fact that Mercury is in Sag, which is out of bounds. So that's another thing about this. Going out of bounds with conversations, things coming out of nowhere. People like projections, freaking gaslighting. These sort of things are going to be a bit more revved up, right? And then the other one, 2+4 is 6, which is Libra energy, which is Venus energy, which Venus is in Libra, right? So this is going to deal with a lot with the relationships, relatability, and the people that we keep close in our life, right? So, we see that going on. And, hold on, let me move this back to hours. You see that going on. It's funny. I say that there's not a whole lot going on, but then I always find something. But, as you can see, we get to 11:25 p.m. and that moon still hasn't quite conjuncted Neptune at 22 degrees. It's getting rather close. I think it's interesting how the day starts off with Mercury actually enshrined to Chiron at 16 degrees, but come the end of the day, Mercury moves to 17 and Chiron moves back to 15. And we got to remember, Chiron's been at 16 for a good bit too. Let's see how long Chiron was actually at that degree. So it's at 16 degrees. It's been at 16 degrees for, quite a while. It's been at 16 degrees since October 25th. So almost an entire month, Chiron has been at that degree. And what is 16? 1+6 is Neptune energy. So it brought things down to a very spiritual place, right? Very spiritual place. Now it's going to move to 15. And what do we know about what do we know about 15? 1 plus 5 is 6. Oh, it's coming to that opposition with Venus. And they will oppose each other. So you want to talk about awkward ass energy with a moon that is so close to conjuncting Neptune. So we're really going to start to feel the emotions of the world and that stuff. And quincunx to a south node, which is going to have people wanting to go back to the past and try and rekindle old shit. They want to rekindle old ways of relating to each other and stuff, go back to the past. Like so many people, I swear, want to go back to like the early 1900s or the late 1800s, thinking that it's like that we need to go back there and recapture that energy. And I'm like, no, like, no, why go back there? This is the thing. People are going to romanticize the past, and people do that all the time. But like, this energy is like perfect for that. People romanticizing the past, and then you got a Venus in its home opposing Chiron over there in Aries, and it's at Venus's degree. Venus is going to win this one, but the thing about it is that Venus may not win this one because Chiron is with the North Node and it's with Aries, so it's bringing some very savage energy with it. Some very savage energy with it. And Neptune, freaking Beerus over here, even though it's retrograde in Pisces, is one of the strongest planets. And it's quincunxing that south node, which Venus is with. So you would think that Venus would win this match, but this is like a triple overtime victory for Venus, and she doesn't come out unscathed, right? She lost a lineman, you know what I'm saying? One of her linemen got hurt. Her quarterback got injured. You know what I'm saying? Like Venus was like the owner of the team, right? Her quarterback got injured. A lineman got injured. One of her players got ejected from the game because Eris is over here causing discord and strife. So that's the thing about this. It ain't exactly going to be the easiest energy to deal with. And this is all building up to Thanksgiving. So if y'all think that this Thanksgiving is going to be a chill Thanksgiving, there might be some weird shit. Hopefully there's not some weird shit and some craziness. I'm just saying that for this Thanksgiving, we have the moon in Aries with this Thanksgiving, with Chiron and Venus in opposition to it. Y'all better go on those cousin walks where you go and, you know what I'm saying, chill out. No, I'm just saying. Let's just look at 3:29 a.m. So it'll be like close to midnight on the West Coast, and then the moon conjuncts Neptune. So it takes a little bit before it to happen. Then it conjuncts it. So definitely some interesting energies. Like I said, we do have a Mercury that's still out of bounds in Sagittarius. So yeah, people are going to be wanting to communicate their fantasies and stuff like that. And I think, like I said, we all have stories that we tell ourselves. I don't think there's anything per se wrong with that. I think the issue is when you start to project that on other people, and then if they don't adopt your story because they don't necessarily see it that way, but if you force them to adopt your story, and then if they don't, then you get like viscerally upset about it, and you get like viscerally like, oh my gosh, you're such a bad person for not following this. How could you do that? That's when you lost. That's when you lose the narrative. That's when you lost the plot right there. You lost the plot. So some people just aren't going to necessarily believe in the same things that you believe in, and we gotta learn how to be okay with that. We got to learn how to coexist with people that don't see the world exactly the way that we see it too. Especially for the great bulk of us, like the 99% of us, where a great proportion of our actions affect millions of people. The great majority of us don't really do that. Like if I take an action, right, it's probably, I mean, eventually it may affect a million people, but it's not going to affect a million people off the bat. But there are people out there where a simple decision that they make will affect a lot of people. That's a little bit different for us. But the vast majority of us, why are we tripping? Learn how to coexist with people that don't have the same belief, don't believe it. And all these stories are connected. That's the thing about it. All these stories are connected. So it's not like they don't all have the same origin. I have the Two of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I'm saying like this, wanting to trying to relate to people. There could be some weird little hiccups in relatability today, in relationships, wanting to connect. To some of you guys may realize that the person that you are attracted to or that you want to be with is not actually your twin flame, and then you might have built up the story that this person is your twin flame and shit like that, and then you're gonna be like, oh, fuck, they may do something that gives you the ick, and you realize that they're not actually your twin flame, and then you're going to get so up in arms about it because, oh my god, they're not my twin flame. That means I can't be with them. No, that's not necessarily the case. You know what I mean? Now, if there are just red flag after red flag after red flag, I remember this is Scorpio season, so Scorpio kind of likes red flags because it's exciting, right? You know what I'm saying? But do you really want to go down that path and stuff? That's the thing about this. Some of you guys may realize that someone's not a twin flame, but they maybe are a kindred soulmate or something like that. And then it's going to be like, well, you have to make that decision. Are you still going to go down that path with them because of this story that you have in your head that you have to be with the twin flame? You don't. Trust me. I'm going to make a whole video on that whole thing, twin flames. You have the Ten of Swords in reverse. So whatever endings need to happen, I'm seeing that they've already happened, right? So I don't think there's really any need to go and cause a bunch of like upheaval, especially when it comes to relationships. Now, when it comes to other areas of your life, I think essentially whatever decisions that need to be made have pretty much already been made. The endings are already here. You're no longer just getting stabbed in the back. It's already afterwards. So you're healing. It's a moment of great healing. So we don't have to just worry that, maybe we're just anticipating some sort of end. It's already happened, right? Bottom of the deck, though, we do have the Three of Cups. So I think we can. That's the thing about this. I think that sometimes we can. I don't even really see this Ten of Swords as like a really big deal, even with the Two of Cups in reverse. I think this is actually coming to some sort of solution, you know, so that we actually have the solutions to our problems. They are all within us, and this is about being able to get on the same page emotionally. In order to get on the same page emotionally, we have to kind of go within ourselves and maybe address those aspects of ourselves that may not be on the same page. So I think today could be a very powerful day of just having a deeper understanding of ourselves and the people around us. And even if there are little tizzies and little spiffs and little spats here and there, that you can make it through anything. And, when you come together with the right people and stuff and, celebrate and fellowship, that's really what it comes down to. That's really the most important thing here. So leading up to this Thanksgiving, I know some people have already traveled. Some people are already with their families and stuff like that, their extended family. And, maybe there are going to be some little spits and some spats here, you know what I'm saying? But, realizing and just appreciating each other, especially through these times, this is something it's going to be an interesting Thanksgiving. You got to think about it. Like Thanksgiving probably is going to hit differently. The holidays are going to hit differently after these last 3 years. So many people have passed away, and so many people have passed away that maybe were expected, but a lot of people passed away unexpectedly. And it's going to, of course, the holidays are going to hit a little bit differently. And that's why I think the Ten of Swords is in reverse. Because, you know, the things have already happened, right? The relationship dynamics are shifting, you know. So let's just take time to appreciate what we do have, the people that we do have in our lives, people that do love us, people that do support us, and that's really what it comes down to, you know. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. That's going to do it for your astrology forecast today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I know it came out a little bit later. I apologize. I know I need to work on getting these out better and faster. So I do apologize for that. But anyways, that's going to do it for your astrology forecast today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com. And as always, y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful Tuesday. I will see you guys on the next astrology forecast. Peace.